Okay, so here's the dialogue, okay? In the movie Snatch, okay, and if you haven't seen the movie Snatch, then don't worry about it, but I'm just going to explain what happens. Tommy and Turkish are on their way to Mickey's caravan, you know, his like pikey caravan camp or whatever. And Tommy is asking Turkish what hare coursing is. And Turkish explains that hare coursing is when they release a dog to go chase a hare, and if the hare gets away, then the hare wins, and if the dog catches the hare, then the hare gets fucked. And Tommy goes, what, proper fucked? And Turkish looks at him like he's a fucking idiot, okay? And then later on, Tommy and Turkish are standing in front of Mickey and his mates or whatever, and he says, like, okay, I bet that the hare gets fucked. And Mickey says, what, proper fucked? And then all of the mates laugh, okay? Now, the question I have for you, and I want you to be dead serious with this. I want you to tell me the truth. Is in this particular dialogue, is the reason that joke is brought up twice because the word proper means that he gets really fucked up, as in super fucked up? Or does it mean that Tommy originally thought that the dog was going to genuinely penetrate the hare, and that later on Mickey is making the same joke, as in, oh, you're betting that the dog fucks the hare? That is the that is the debate. I'd like to know what somebody from UK thinks from that scene. Do they feel like the joke is that the hare is getting penetrated, or that the hare is getting super fucked up? When you say the latter, totally the latter, what do you mean? I'm not gonna tell you which side I'm on, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm you know, that I'm manipulating the chat here, but no, this is a serious conversation. Right now I'm on survival. Yeah, I am on survival. I'm level 37. The whole playthrough will be on YouTube when I'm done with it, but so far we haven't used any weapon items at all, and we have never used our fists in combat. He thinks the dog will be fornicating a rabbit. That's interesting, man. Because when he says, "Well, proper fuck," the reason that Turkish looks at Tommy like an idiot is because, according to you, people from the United Kingdom, because he for a second thinks that the dog is going to fuck the hare, properly fuck the hare, as in literally, not as in like extremely. Still have the internet in the UK? Yeah, Brexit didn't mean that the entire internet had to leave. That would have been real sad. That's right. Fuck with the protector on. That's exactly what I want to see. Because I hate blood bugs. Disappointed at how not real this got. I mean, Jesus, how much more real did you want it to be? We were discussing child abuse earlier, and now, yeah, now we're having this this conversation. Mostly because A, Ganesh is here, and he was the one that I was having this discussion with, and B, because let's see, where's Augusta Safehouse? And B, because I wanted to change the subject from banging children to banging banging rabbits. North Korean style internal web. That would suck, actually. A lot of my, first of all, a lot of Twitch viewers are from the UK. You know, I would say that there's more English-speaking streamers than any other language. And maybe that's just my, you know, very biased perception of Twitch, but it would seem to me to be the case. And so the UK and the UK, Australia, those kind of places, those are very very crucial markets or whatever for streaming for people. Dickless nipples, that's almost certainly the case. Yeah, in order for there to be an internal style web in North Korea, which would take a lot of effort, and you gotta understand that only 0.2% of people in North Korea have access to the internet. But for that to be the case, oh, let's cook up some of this shit. For that to be the case, yeah, there would definitely be a lot of like historical skewing as far as how badass Kim Jong-un is, which is actually kind of amazing because, you know, what has to happen for that to happen is that they have to, when one leader dies, they have to sit back and convince themselves that the next leader is like also God, which is crazy and awesome. Kyle thinks the only English speakers matter. Well, I certainly think that the people from the UK matter. I know there's a ton of Russian streamers, there's a ton of German streamers, there's a ton of Finnish streamers, there's a ton of Korean streamers, there's a ton of Japanese streamers. But I'm just saying, for what time I'm awake, I usually see nothing but the English streamers. Yeah, they censor the whole internet. Well, you gotta understand that they know just, you know, just from a general kind of a general sort of procedure for their entire country, that the worst thing that can happen to them, to undermine their entire system there, is for their citizens to have access to, you know, to have unlimited access to information. So, you know, having it's like the trending dude who was like an American citizen who was a he was a captor of North Korea for like a little while. He was sort of detained for 4 or 6 hours or something like that, and you know, nothing came of it per se, but the guards were like asking him all these different questions, and they asked him, you know, he basically was like, yeah, where I come from, everybody who has a job has a place to live and a car. They usually have a house and a car. And even the guards were like, fuck you, that can't be real. You're so full of shit. It's not like that elsewhere. You know, but if you've ever watched the, oh, what is the meaning of this shit? Oh, it's Brotherhood dudes. I thought I was gonna have to blow these motherfuckers up. Yeah, if you've ever watched the propaganda video that they have that's like anti-American, it's pretty genius. I mean, it's their culture is so honed around like a very strange perception of what modern industrialized nation culture should be, that they can even release a film that kind of convinces even American citizens that, wow, actually we live a kind of fucked up life. You know what I mean? But, you know, any time that anybody gives you the Hitler thing, they, you know, what the hell do you even call that? The Godwin's Law thing. Anytime that happens, oh Jesus God, man, are you sure this is a good idea? Oh, you are now fucked. You are fucked now. Oh, goddamn. Oh, that was a hell of a fight. Yeah, ad Victoriam. Wait, there's still dudes shooting at me. You want to go ahead and handle that? 3 identical Brotherhood Knights? Oh no, one of them has a Gatling laser, the other 2 have Gatling miniguns. Oh man. Yeah, but you know, it's probably you know, at least a little bit skewed here. Think about how easy it is for them to subjugate an entire population of people who are basically not allowed to leave. We're also not allowed to enter. You know what I mean?
What the fuck was that?
As far as like the kind of shit that Hitler did to the Jews, obviously fucking terrible. But the North Koreans do like that kind of shit to their own people. If you're caught doing something that's like even vaguely like seditious, your entire family goes to prison, and it's a prison camp for 3 generations. So your parents go to prison, you go to prison, and your children go to prison until they all die. And it's like, you know, they have their culture so like hammered in that there is no God. There's just Kim Jong-un. Like, people are kind of programmed to believe in a kind of spiritual world, and they've absolutely subjugated that, as well as everything else, you know? So it's very distressing, and it's also very distressing to think about the fact that, you know, so long as they're not so long as they're not also bullshitting us to make us think that it's, you know, terrible or whatever.
Won't be able to pick this.
There's a possibility, and I admit it's not a very distinct one, but there's a possibility that your own government is as full of shit about it as their government is. You sent me a picture that I should look at? Sent it where? My phone? Yeah. I need to see if I can get a hold of this little sheet of paper here before I leave. Yeah, Ganesh is like new mod. top definition, proper fucked, fully taken care of, killed.
Where'd that little fucker go?
Now the reason that I've always thought that it stood for
Scared, huh?
you know,
Should be.
proper meaning literally, is that that's the way they use it regarding every other time that they use the word proper. You know what I mean? But it, you know, it can be used the other direction. It can be used to say like, proper fucked meaning killed. It just doesn't make sense to me as a joke in that context. For me, the joke has only made sense in the sense that like, for the guy to be joking around and elbowing his buddies like, ha ha ha, this guy almost bet that,
No way I could pick this.
you know, that the dog was gonna fuck the other dog, or fuck the rabbit or whatever. That's kind of how I've always perceived it. And maybe that's, you know, maybe that's wrong, and if it is wrong, I'm okay with that. But it's just how I've always kind of seen it. Tommy says after they lose the bet, it's proper fucked now then, but you know, even in that context, it's still, you know, it could take on both meanings. That's the worrying thing about it. What the fuck is this topic? It's yeah, it's just a discussion about a scene in the movie Snatch. And I think the only way we're ever gonna find out for sure, because people are gonna, if it really does mean killed, like to be really fucked up or killed or whatever, in that context, then it doesn't mean it in the second context. Does that make sense? Because Tommy doesn't mean who's fucking dead now when he's talking about, oh man, now we have to buy this dude a caravan in order for us to get him to fight. That doesn't make sense. He just means like we're boned, we're fucking screwed, because now we have to spend whatever money we may or may not make on this fight on buying this dude's mom a caravan. Not worrying. Stop worrying about one line of dialogue from a movie. Well, you know, here's the thing. We had this discussion earlier in the year. We had this discussion again today, and I said that if I streamed and there was a viewer from the UK who was familiar with the movie, that they could explain the connotation from the movie. If you side the railroad and kill the brotherhood, do you get brotherhood? Do you get the vertebrate still? It depends on what time you kill the railroad. So here's what you could do. If you followed up on the Brotherhood until they give you the vertebrate signal grenades. Oh, Jesus. And then afterward, you killed the Brotherhood and sided with the Railroad. What would happen in that situation is you could summon a vertebrate with the vertebrate signal grenade, but then the Brotherhood would be aggro to you when they come down. Chat is so immature. That's pretty immature. We're all right though. We got Nightbot for throwing tomatoes and shit. That's not immature. How dare you? I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing now. Going back to the fucking railroad again. Don't I solve enough of you people's problems? I mean, Jesus. Oh, there's a lot of rocks right here. Hopefully I can get up there. I figured I could jump in and then go up the shore, but this is a rocky shore. And it would be truly depressing if I drowned right here. But you have a immense lung capacity when you're wearing power armor. The best fraction item is the railroad for ballistic weaving brotherhood vertibird, right? Have you ever used the Minutemen artillery before? Jesus Christ. Not sure if I can get up out of here. I thought for sure this bridge would have been just fine, but... My Mylar cake solution is not very good. You think people in the Commonwealth heated up melted? Fuck them, if so, how irradiated did they become down there? Answer these questions. Who would heat up a melon they're gonna fuck with a microwave? Why wouldn't they just use a fire? You can use the vertibirds to fast travel in survival. Well, I mean... yeah, I guess. But, I don't know. I don't have that much trouble with it. Watching the vertibird fly in a straight line at a speed slightly faster than me just running to the place. And I mean, I guess it's much faster, but... I don't know. I guess I've never used the vertibird signal grenade, so I really don't have any context for whether or not that's a good idea. There you go. Do people really do that? Listen. It may astonish you to know this, but dudes are, especially when they're young, are extremely shameless with what they'll put their penis into. You know what I mean? I've heard of kids, you know, banging the creases in their mother's furniture, you know what I mean? Or the sleeve of a jacket. And obviously there's the whole bit about the dick in the pie. The melons are already irradiated. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I guess it really just depends on how often they do it. Because, you know, your body doesn't really, unless you have solar-powered rank 2, your body doesn't really purge radiation all that well. That perk is now fucking useless. They nerfed the cannibal perk in survival mode. In what way did they nerf it? Does it not heal you as much? You'll have to extrapolate on that, because I think the cannibal perk is useful in survival mode in a different way. Black Nile, the answer to your question, which is does Minutemen artillery stack if multiple batteries are in range, is yes. That is absolutely the case. And if you go to my YouTube channel and watch the Grandma Reddit playthrough, which makes heavy use of the artillery, you'll see that when multiple artilleries are in range, they all fire on the location. When there's only one in range, it goes boom, boom. And it lays down 5 or 6 shells or whatever. But when there's like 5 in range, it's a fucking hailstorm of death. It's insane. Is the vertibird signal grenade cheap? My understanding, and I'm not 100% on this, but my understanding is that you can get the vertibird signal grenades
Augusta Safehouse was destroyed.
Essentially for free from the guy.
3 safe houses gone.
But afterward, you'll probably have to buy them for
I have nothing further for you at the moment.
maybe not that much,
I'm
would
sure
be my
someone else
guess.
could use your help. No shortage of files to be put out.
Go to my YouTube. Well, I'm just saying, I don't know off the top of my head anybody else who's done major artillery work in a playthrough. I mean, maybe that is just me that did that and put it on YouTube. Let's see. We could do Medic 3. The next level here won't be until level 50, so that's probably not the most important perk that we can take. Let's just keep working towards Ricochet, because I really like the idea of using that shit. Now, let's see here. I do need to go to Dr. Amari. Yeah, there's Grandma Reddit in New Vegas, and there's another one that's in Fallout 4. And, the one that I did, I'm trying to remember where I threw that artillery grenade. I think it was the Revere satellite array when I was trying to clear all those mutants off of that interior area, all the external satellite bullshit that's in that area. They got wrecked. There was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 in range, and they totally fucking iced those dudes. When you use those, if you happen to build artillery in every settlement, which is, you know, not that crazy, you accumulate full range anywhere in the map except for the glowing sea. Everywhere else you can throw a artillery signal grenade, and it will attack with 1 or more artillery shells. Like 1 or more battery of artillery shells. It basically makes outdoor areas like not a problem anymore. I would much of all of the grenades that you get as a result of being in the faction, the Minutemen are my favorite. Kill streak, what up? What's the problem? Tell me what I can do to please you, man. What do you got? You're pretty sure Dad went to get cigarettes? I'm pretty sure Dad went to get cigarettes. I'm Dad. Apparently he didn't go anywhere. Let's see. We don't need to do anything else, I don't think, for those dudes. At least not for a while. Let's do Dangerous Minds. Almusja, thank you for that follow. What's up and welcome and all that type of stuff. And Destroyed, by the way, you asked if I'd played any earlier Fallouts. I've played a lot of Fallout New Vegas and a lot of Fallout 3, but I have not played Fallout 1 or 2 very much. I played a little bit of 2 and none of 1. And my experience with 2 was, goddamn, it takes a long time to do combat in this game. Especially because in the early part of the game, it's literally just like they missed, you missed. They missed, you missed. They missed, you missed. Over and over and over again. Each time you use Twitter, you are in the bathroom. I use Twitter all the time. Well, I mean, you know, as far as trying to maintain a large presence on the internet, I do a pretty shitty job of it. Because I don't have a Weirdest Builds Facebook account. And if you've ever tried to add me on Facebook, I'm sorry, but my personal account for Facebook is the only thing I don't involve with the stream. I haven't put up a new series on YouTube yet. Bernie Sanders was the last one, and it finished in May 23rd or whatever. Let's see. Yeah, I have a Tumblr, but I haven't put anything new on it since I started doing the stream. There's a lot that I could do to make my stream or my presence on the internet better. I suck at Twitter notifications. Give me a break, man. I've put up one an hour before I streamed like every day for like months. There's just been a couple of times where I'm like, ah, shit, I'm starting in a half an hour because I like forgot for a little while, but